So, this next story comes at you. Little backstory. I do a lot of bands. I am currently wearing a band sponsored branded T-shirt. Um, but when I did a lot of like marching band specifically, eventually, like I did very high level marching band, and I was with a lot of groups. One of the groups I was with was called the Oregon Crusaders. They were exceptionally bad. Not that they scored bad, not that they played bad, not that they marched bad. Just like the group was run like shit. I every like as a member, every day I thought, wow, this is really bad. This is super piss poor. Like I don't understand how this group functions. Like how do we manage to get food on like our plates? How do we manage to get to our housing sites? Like what is going on? How is anything functioning right now? Um, and that was how I got my job there. As a member, I had like an instructor. His name was Taryn. Every day I would hang out with Taryn. Like he was my teacher, and he would teach me the basics. He would teach me all like these advanced fundamentals. We would define things together. We would just hang out together constantly throughout the summer. And every day I was like, why did it take us like 2 hours to go do this particular thing? Why is everything so bad? Why are we doing things this way? Why don't we do it this way? And I would always like criticize like how the group is run. And eventually he came to me and he was like, if you think you can do it better, come be on the admin staff and fix it. And I was like, get me a job, and you bet your sweet tookus, you bet that tookus of yours, Taryn, that I will fix it for you. And that is exactly what I tried to do. I can't say I did it well. The group does not exist anymore, but that's neither here nor there. That's not because of me. But every day I would just criticize of how bad it was, and I wanted it to be better, and then it's exactly what I wanted to do when I became a staff member. I got on the admin team. I didn't have to worry about like the day-to-day teaching or instruction. I had to worry about the day-to-day happenings. So like getting food for the group, which is like 150 kids plus like 50 staff members, getting fuel for all the vehicles, getting vehicles to and from, getting vehicles serviced, getting people to and from the airport, getting our fleet down the road, checking in at shows, checking in at housing sites. What else? Making sure our props got loaded properly, making sure our like all our vehicles were parked in the right spots. All of these things, like the small detail-oriented stuff, that is what I did. I was on the lower ranking of all of that, but it did not matter. I would come in. I would wake up every day and I would think to myself, how can we make this day better? And how can we improve things? And that's what I try to do every single day. So, cool. That's in a nutshell. That is what I would do. What had happened was my second year working there, we had gotten a new director. That it was, I guess, is not really relevant, but one of our fleet vehicles was like a motorhome, and this is like a 16 to like 20 foot motorhome. Nothing. It was not huge. It was not big at all. It's the kind that is like not on the back of a truck, but has a truck as a frame, and you can see the truck. It's not like a school bus basically. But we would drive that thing around, and that's where like our director would sleep and like our assistant director would sleep. And like whoever drove it was like up to speculation of like whoever it would be. I'm probably gonna lose this game because I'm talking as well, but that's fine. So we had this motorhome and we were driving around. And this particular day we were in Oklahoma, and I hate Oklahoma. Like I don't ever want to go back to Oklahoma. I don't ever want to interact with Oklahoma. I don't like Oklahoma. I don't ever want to look at it. I don't want to talk about it. I hate Oklahoma. It is the worst. All right, orange. So in Oklahoma, we were staying at a housing site, which is just a school, and to shower, had to go to another school down the street. It was the junior high as opposed to the high school. So we, as an admin team, we just went to go take our showers early because we needed to take our showers and get back to the group. And then we would get everyone else situated because it was kind of a weird situation to get everyone there. So we were driving our motorhome, no big deal, whatever, right? and we go take a shower, no problem. We have no issues getting there. It was on the way back. All right, hold on. Let's see. I didn't even look. So we are driving back, and we pull up some maps on Google Maps, and our director, he's the one who's driving. He gets a little turnaround, so we're like, oh, we just need to pop a UE real quick, and then we'll be on our way. We just got to go back this other road. No big deal. So what had happened was, this is a pretty narrow road. We could not turn in the road. We had to like turn off to a side, like a street. And the street, there was like it was like a cement little bridge that went over a small embankment that couldn't have been more than like 10 feet wide at the maximum. And that would go down and up, and that's where like water would flow underneath the driveway that was this side road. So he took the turn. He went to go down this road just so that he could get it done, turn around, no big deal, right? He took it a little sharp, and what had happened was he took it too sharp, driven the front wheel onto the road, but driven the back wheel in the gap between. So what had happened was it just like got pushed. He like was driving, hit the gas a little bit, and it just like smashed into the side of this concrete like bridge thing that what do you call it, was like that went over the embankment, and it was a halting stop. We just hit it pretty hard, and then all of a sudden like everything's just like stopped. We're all smashing forward, and there's shit just falling from like the cabinets, and like our assistant director, he just gets nailed in the face by a laminator. I don't know why it was a laminator specifically, but like that was what it was. So he gets domed with the laminator. He's like in rough condition. We all got out after just getting like thrown everywhere. It was crazy. And then we assessed the damage. The axle, so normally there'd be like two axles. One of the back axle was just like turned, and it like was not in line. They were the two axles were not parallel. Just put it like that. And it just had sheared off. There was like a U-bolt that holds it into place, and that U-bolt was just gone because we were just going. That was like just a lot of inertia, a lot of force, just destroyed it. And that piece we just had to like deal with. The tire was like off of the wheel. It did not pop. The wheel did not bend, but it was all just like mangled a little bit. And we were trying to figure out like what to do. So how can we get this this tire back onto the wheel? Basically what that was like the golden question at that moment. We're just getting decimated. So that is what we tried to figure out, but we did not have a solution. What had happened was there was a guy who lived on that street who was just like looking at us like, oh man, what are these out of town folks doing? This was like a dirt road, but this gentleman, he just watched us and he was checking us out, and he came up and he's like, you guys okay? Like, is anyone hurt? We're like, yeah, our assistant director is not feeling so hot, but we want to figure that out. We got to get this vehicle out. So we like looked up some tow companies to like lift the vehicle out of the embankment. The quickest estimate we got was 3 hours to like get someone out there to get us out. And then that was like too long. We had to get back to the group to like get everyone there because we needed to be like at our destination in 3 hours. Yeah, we're losing this one. So yeah, that vehicle was gonzo, and we had to figure that out. But like what had happened was he came up to us and he's like, "Oh, I got some tools. We can help you out." And like I didn't necessarily trust that this guy was going to help us out. I didn't really know what to expect other than he was just a guy who had watched us just like plow this motorhome into like the side of the street basically. But he was super nice, and he helped us out. He took me and one of the other assistants up to his house, which was up the road, maybe like half a mile. We like walked up because he had walked down just like smoking cigarettes, and we walked up, and there's just like a bunch of stuff in his yard. You know, nothing too crazy, nothing I hadn't seen before. But there was like, you know, there's cars, there was like lawnmowers, there was like a pool, there's a bunch of cats roaming around, like a bunch of gas cans, like just a bunch of stuff in general. But this guy, turns out he is a mobile repair for like trucks and cars and everything like that, like roadside repair. Did not look like it. His vehicle was just a white van that you slid open the door, and there was just like air compressors, tools, like lug nuts, like everything you could think of for this exact situation was in the back of this guy's car. So he had an air compressor. He basically like pressurized it, put as much air in it as he could, and we like drove back down to the motorhome, this down the road, like again half mile. And his brilliant plan, like I sincerely 100% brilliant, is he like lubed up the wheel, and all we had to do was just put more air back in the tire, and it inflated, popped back onto the wheel, golden. Like, this was the perfect man for the job, and I don't think like it could have been anyone better. So this guy, he helped us out and got our wheels back and running. So now the only thing we had to do was just get the motorhome out. Like, because like I said, the fastest estimate we got was 3 hours. But this guy, he had like seen a tow truck driving down the street, or like just a truck in general, not even like a tow truck. And he like waved the guy down, and it was one of his friends. And he like talks to this friend, and he's like, you gotta help this person out. Turns out this gentleman's friend was one of the tow companies, the one that quoted us at 3 hours. And he just like looked at me. He's like, you need to go get your truck right now. We need to get these people out. So that is exactly what happened. This gentleman helped us out, told his friend who had a tow truck and owned the tow company that we had called, and told him, you need to help these people out. We need to get them out. And that is what he did. We had a tow truck there in like 20 minutes. And we got out. He pulled us down to the local VFA. That is where we like looked at the motorhome and saw like what the damage was. And if like that guy had not been there, we would not have gotten the wheel on. It would not have been rollable. It would not have been drivable. We wouldn't have gotten the tow truck. We would not have functioned without that gentleman. We tried to pay him. Honestly, like, we wanted to give him like some money, like tickets to the show, whatever it was. He just wouldn't take it. The guy just wanted to sit there and drink his Diet Mountain Dew and just go about his day and like bless his soul. I don't know. It was just one of the kindest acts of sincerity I've seen in quite some time, and I hope everybody like sees that in their time, is that they get to experience what it's like to just see sincere niceness in a person, because like it does not happen often, and I hope that people are like that in the world, and I try to be like just a very nice person, because like that's what people need sometimes, is just a helping hand. And bless his soul is what we got. So again, like, thanks for listening to the story as well. This has been Big D with the Heavy Flow coming at you. You know, I just like talking. So thank you for listening. And as always, if you ever like come by, come check it out. And let's chit chat. Let's hear some stories. I love to hear what everyone else is doing, and like what other things are going on, because I've had some good things happen in my life, had some bad things happen, but I just like talking about it. So let's chit chat. All right. Thank you, everybody. Smooches.